Hello everyone, welcome to today's current affairs session of Civilspedia. The topics we are going to see is Integrated Development of Wildlife Habitats, Section 377, NALSA and 2+2 Dialogue. So first one, Integrated Development of Wildlife Habitat. It is a centrally sponsored scheme that was launched in the 11th 5-year plan in the year 2008 to 2009. Then it was extended to this 12th 5-year plan, and now the Cabinet Committee has extended this provision to this 2019 to 2020. With respect to the scheme, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. There are two types of scheme. One is centrally sector and another one is centrally sponsored. In centrally sector scheme, the assistance will be, the financial and technical assistance will be given by the central government. While with respect to centrally sponsored scheme, it is the proportion between state government as well as the central government. So with respect to this scheme, the recurring items, if they are going to procure any recurring items, then it will be shared with 50% from center and 50% from the state. For the non-recurring items to purchase or to have maintenance of this wildlife habitat, then it will be 100% provided by the central government. So main objective of this scheme is to provide technical and financial assistance to the states and union territories. So the main objective is, this scheme is to protect the protected areas and to preserve the wildlife outside the protected areas and to save the recovery program to save this critically endangered species. So totally there was 21 critically endangered species that was covered under this recovery program. Among that, the recent addition of 4 species by the National Board of Wildlife Sanctuaries is Northern River Terrapin, that was in Sundarbans, and Clouded Leopard, that was in Pakke Tiger Reserve, Arunachal Pradesh. And then third one is Arabian Sea Humpback Whale, and fourth one is Red Panda, that belongs to this Northeast Sub-Himalayan areas. These 4 species have been added to this 21 list of this recovery program of integrated development of wildlife habitats. Then the major targets of the scheme is to address the human-wildlife conflict, because it is the most crucial objective that the scheme intended to this, because by providing the communities for sufficient alternative livelihood, then they will not depend on the forest for their whole livelihood process, so that they can voluntarily relocate from this critical or crow-tiger habitat, so that the government can preserve more of this habitat, so the animals can have a good livelihood in that. Then ecotourism. This scheme is to promote the ecotourism, thereby they targeted to generate this employment generation. By this scheme itself, this cabinet committee has said that we have planned to have 30 man days extension work, by this extending from 2018 to 2019-20 of this scheme. Then the fourth major target of this scheme is to substitute this natural resources. The dependency of this forest dwellers on the natural resources has to be substituted with this clean energy technologies. So with that, we will end up this topic and we will move on to the next topic, Section 377. Section 377 refers to unnatural offences, that is primarily the homosexuality, and apart from the homosexuality, they are intended on this unnatural heterosexuality like oral sex or anal sex, and also with the animals. So major thing is, this law has been created based on this British 1861 IPC law. With that, British has said that on that period, British has framed this law because they said, according to this Christian law, their religious own law, if there is other than the intention of creating the progeny, if there is any other sexual activities, then that is not natural thing, then that will be harm the society. So they have criminalized this unnatural offences under this Section 377. So right now the international scenario is, among the world, 72 countries has been criminalized this homosexuality, while 85 countries has give protection for this homosexual persons, while 47 countries only recognize this homosexual people. So now India has in the situation of a criminalized, but now we have decriminalized this Section 377. Among this criminalization also, totally 8 countries has been awarding death penalty for homosexuality. But among that 8 countries, 5 countries did not even ever now implemented this death penalty to homosexual people. Then this IPC 1861 IPC has said that it will be punished with fine, and along with that fine there will be imprisonment up to 10 years or lifetime imprisonment also will be awarded for this homosexual unnatural offences. Also this Section 377 says that it is a cognizable, that is without any warrant the police can arrest, and also it is non-bailable, that is before hearing with the magistrate they cannot get the bail. and it is a non-compoundable. Non-compoundable means the victims and the accused person cannot go for compromisation before going the trial. So the only solution if the person is committed under the section 377 is they have to go for the court. This was a scenario prevailed earlier. Let us see the timeline of this section 377. First, in 2001, the NASC Foundation, it is a Delhi-based NGO. They are mainly working on HIV and AIDS related people. So they said that this section 377 is violating these fundamental rights of Article 14, that is equality before law. That is all the people are equal. Why are you discriminating these homosexual people? And Article 15, that is based on the sex you are discriminating. And Article 19, that is the right to freedom of expression is curtailed because this homosexual people cannot express that they are homosexuals. And Article 21, that is the right to health as well as the right to privacy and right to life and liberty. And then 2009, the Delhi High Court has taken this case and they gave the verdict that it is not constitutional. That is, it is unconstitutional, this section 377. So they decriminalized this section 377. But in 2013, Supreme Court said that this Delhi High Court didn't consider the whole society. It just say the minuscule fraction of this LGBT population. And they give the verdict like this. So the Supreme Court said in 2013 that this Delhi Court judgment is null and void. So it is not applicable. So it is a this section 377 is a criminal offense. And it is the work of the parliament to see whether this law is suitable for this society or they have to amend it or not. That is leave to the work of the parliament, not to the judiciary. The Supreme Court said like that in 2013. Then the major changes happened after this 2013. In 2014, the Supreme Court itself said, give the verdict that the transgenders should be considered as a third gender. So apart from male and female, there is a third gender considering a transgender. And they have given the reservation quota under OBC. That is one of the important steps towards this minority capsules. And with respect to 2017, in Puttaswamy case, the Supreme Court has given the verdict that there was a fundamental right to privacy is a fundamental right. And the sexual orientation will come under this right to privacy. So each and individual has the right to express their sexual identity. And in 2018, yesterday, the Supreme Court has said that it is a denial of self-expression. If this section 377 is criminalized means, then it shows that the self-expression has been denied. That means it is equal to the death. So this section 377 should not be criminalized. That is, it is a null and void, the court has said. Then why it favored, some people have favored that section 377 need to be continued. Why they said like that is, first and foremost thing they said is, this unnatural sexes is against the nature of law or it's against the morals of the society as well as the religion. And second important thing they said why this section 377 has to be continued is that homosexual people are more prone to this sexually transmitted diseases. So it has to be curtailed and it has to be punished. But if we decriminalize the section 377 means what will be the implications on the society? So first thing is there will be decline in sex ratio because most people are going to homosexuality, then it will going to affect the population structure of the society. And then most of the students and army people might opt for the homosexuality to remove from their stress. And why the section 377 need to be removed? First thing is, this section didn't give any differentiation between consensual sexes and non-consensual sexes. It just said all the homosexual is a criminalized one. So first thing, negative thing is this. And second thing is, it is severely violating this right to life and right to privacy. And third thing is, most of these sex workers and the HIV and AIDS affected persons are severely harassed by this law because they have been arrested. So many people have been arrested under this section 377. And this law has been started from 1861 IPC and the British has made that law. Now the British government itself removed this section 377, that is this homosexuality, they have decriminalized in 1967 itself. So that thing they said that this section 377 is not needed right now because considering the social fabric of the society, we have to give the right to express their identity. So it is their consensus for the two individuals to have a homosexual or not. So we cannot say that it is an offense to have a homosexuality. With that, we will end up that topic and we will move on to this National Legal Service Authority, NALSA. Initially, the context of this is recently the Supreme Court has said that if there is no law for this child abuse, if the child is get abused, there is no guidelines to have how they get to be compensated. So in POSCO Act 2012, that is for Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Children Act, there was no rules and regulations to guide how much compensation has to be given to the child. So Supreme Court said that the court has to follow this, special court has to follow this NALSA scheme for how they are give compensation to the victims of women assault, sexual assault. So they said that from October 2, it will be operational. That is, they have to take the compensation from this NALSA scheme of women sexual assault. And it has to be gender neutral. And with respect to the NALSA, it was created under Legal Services Authority Act 1987. Under the articles, to implement the articles, Article 39A, 14 and Article 22.1. And it has been created at national, state, district and taluk level. This Legal Services Authority has been created. The main objective of this authority is to provide this free legal services to poor people, as well as to organize a Lok Adalat to settle the amicable solutions for the court cases. And what are the NALSA schemes? Right now it is available is, there was schemes to disaster victims and to trafficked people and unorganized workers and to the children abused and mentally ill, poverty people, tribal, senior citizens, accident victims, and finally drug abuse people. They can get the compensation as per this NALSA scheme. And next topic is 2+2 dialogue. This 2+2 dialogue refers to a conversation or dialogue between two countries have to have two important portfolios are meeting and conversing about what the things they can come under this bilateral framework. So first thing right now is India and US is going under this 2+2 dialogue. And the issues that are prevailing in this dialogue is first one is Iran crude oil. India is importing Iran crude oil. Third largest importer of oil to India is Iran. And this US has said that India should curtail or should reduce this import from Iran. Otherwise, they will put economic sanctions. And second important thing is this Russian defense equipment. That is, India is going to procure S-400 surface to air missile from Russia. And as per the US CATSA Act, that is countering America's adversaries through Sanctions Act, this if India is going to purchase, then US will put economic sanctions on India. These two things are containing this 2+2 dialogue. But this government, this time, this was in the 2+2 dialogue, these both issues has been not touched very much. It was taken as a lightweight only. And other of these issues, what they have discussed in this 2+2 dialogue is, most of them think they have concentrated on Indo-Pacific cooperations and this procuring this encrypted defense technology from US to India and cross-border terrorism and NSG, nuclear supplier groups bidding, that is India to get membership in this NSG, and H1B visas issues regarding that. And with respect to this, importance of this dialogue is, US is the second largest arms supplier to India. And India is the largest arms procurer in all over the world. And US is the second one. With respect to India, the first largest arms supplier is Russia. With 62%, our arms has been getting from Russia. And US 15%. And third one is Israel. 11% we are getting from Israel. And with respect to this 2+2 dialogue, there has been 3 foundational defense pacts that needs to be signed between India and US so that we will have fully integrated India-US cooperation. The first one we have signed in 2006, LEMOA, that is Logistic Exchange Memorandum of Agreement. With that thing, this US equipments that is US bases can used by Indian vessels, and Indian bases can be used by US vessels for refueling or any humanitarian assistance. With that thing, we can do the logistic exchanges with this 2016 agreement. While in 2018, yesterday we have signed this COMCASA, that is Communication Compatibility and Security Agreement. With that thing, India and US will have a common platform to exchange their communication data as well as security, that is critical defense related technologies, we can change it. And remaining one, we still now not signed it, is BECA, that is Basic Exchange and Cooperation Agreement for Geospatial Cooperation. If we sign this one, means we will get to access this satellite images or satellite details of this US with India, and India will also exchange their satellite informations with US. Apart from that, we will going to have the special technologies also from the US, so that we will have this missile targeting and other defense related cooperation with the US, so that we will have this 3 defense pact. If we sign these 3 defense pact means it will give the wholly integration of India and US defense related activities. And our government has also said that we are going to sign or going to negotiate about this ISA, that is Industrial Security Annex, so that the defense and industry collaboration will happen between India and US. These are the major things we have to focus in this 2+2 dialogue. With that, we will end today's current affairs session. Thank you. Have a positive day.